One Piece 1008. Demons inside Zoro, Zoro vs Big Mom? What is the role of Yamato and Sanji? Hello everyone, welcome back to Top Shounen. In the latest chapter 1008, Law has proposed to separate Big Mom and Kaido, because it is impossible to deal with two people at the same time. However, how to separate, and how to deal with each of the four Emperor, Law did not say. Obviously, needing one person strong enough to hold Big Mom is very difficult, reinforcing from outside at this time certainly cannot be present. So 5 supernovae will have to move on their own, and 1 in 2 people who agree with Law will take the responsibility of holding the Big Mom. And the one I think of is Zoro, because Luffy, Kid, and Law are all aimed at Kaido. There are a lot of picture frames showing the 3 captains facing the world's most powerful creature. Although we all want Zoro to be able to slash Kaido like Oden used to, but maybe author Oda will give him another task. This task is just as difficult as slashing Kaido, it is dragging Big Mom away, and keeping her always in front of her, not interfering with Kaido's fight with Luffy's group. Can Zoro do that? What kind of power would you awaken, to hold off one of the 4 Emperor, each of his crews like a duck on the island? Remember, Big Mom in just 2 moves knocked Queen unconscious, grabbed Marco by the neck, making him unable to move. To solo with her, Zoro will have to surpass the captain of the 1st Division of the Whitebeard Pirates. This task seems to be even more difficult than slashing Kaido. But I still believe in Zoro, if he awakens the power hidden inside his body. In addition, it is not anyone else that Zoro is the best person to confront Big Mom. Want to know why I think so? Please watch all the videos, and join Top Shounen to learn this extremely interesting topic. 1. Zoro's demonic powers. First of all, to avoid misunderstanding Zoro's left eye, I will correct that this demonic power has absolutely nothing to do with the eye. The type of Zoro that hasn't opened his eyes yet, will reveal the demon's eyes and he will maximize his power. I can boldly say absolutely no such thing. We are reading One Piece, not Naruto. Author Oda and Kishimoto are close friends. Author Oda intended to name Sanji Naruto, but changed it later to avoid overlap. So I'm not going to cover the Uchiha clan into One Piece, but this is simply a concept to make Zoro cooler. One thing that you can ignore, or forget, is chapter 597, author Oda has drawn some shapes for the future Straw Hat. Pictured are Luffy and Zoro, author Oda changed Lu's way of dressing, and used Z's exclusive image. There is also a picture of him wearing an eye patch like a real pirate. But in the end, author Oda chooses the left eye, and changes Sanji's hairstyle to cover his right eye. Author Oda explains that he did this because Zoro would be the right hand, and Sanji would be Luffy's left arm. In short, this eye has nothing to do with Zoro's powers, his intimidation on Monet, may be the influence of his teacher Mihawk. Because he was nicknamed the Hawk-Eyed, his eyes were terrifying. Hancock said even those with real power would be afraid of those eyes. Since Mihawk also has a similar darkness to Zoro, his killing intent, Haki is too strong, it makes the enemy feel scared. Kuma sent Zoro to Kurinaga Island, perhaps because of this common sense. Inside Zoro there is also a demonic power, namely Demon Lord Ashura. After 2 years of time skip, Zoro reappears with a new, cold and murderous image. The fact that he lost his left eye, possibly because of a strange, devilish power, made Mihawk unable to help but cut his hand. In the anime, Zoro is blinded by a monkey, however the manga is shown differently by author Oda. In chapter 597, when Zoro came to beg, Mihawk showed disdain and said, "Go. I have nothing for useless people, I seem to have overestimated you. You are defeated by the baboons and cannot go to sea, I have nothing to teach those who come back to me, after such a failure." But Zoro coldly replied, "I really knocked them down, leaving you alone." When he heard from them, Mihawk showed astonishment. Zo's injury was not healed and he defeated all the monkeys. So, when he was healed by Perona and trained by Mihawk again, the monkeys were never Zoro's opponents, his brother's eyes were still believed by Mihawk to spoil. And the reason he was 2 hands on his student, was because Zoro exerted too much power during practice. This power seems to be uncontrollable even by Zoro, forcing Mihawk to defeat him, thus cutting Zoro off one eye. And I believe inside Zoro is where Ashura's demon soul resides. Why is that? Back in time, in the battle with Keiku, Zoro launched a new technique, Lord Slayer Ashura. He is enveloped in a giant black aura, bringing incredible damage, causing Keiku to shiver. In chapter 417, we see that he is overtaking Zoro, causing him to struggle with it and shout, "That's dangerous." And looking closely at this picture frame, Zoro was enraged that he was overwhelmed. He said, "You." At that moment Keiku felt something, causing his face to change color and pausing. What was that just now? In a split second, he felt like he had 3 heads and 6 arms. Zoro didn't seem to be aware of this power, so he said, "Don't get distracted." The match then resumed, and Zoro unleashed the demon weapon, Ashura 9 Swords. This was just the name of the ultimate move, and the 3-headed 6-armed Zoro was an illusion that Keiku saw. He even saw Demon Lord Ashura behind Z's back, as the demon god from just now. Can he create illusions with such mental strength? Probably not, but being cornered, plus the will to not give up, Zoro unintentionally awakened Ashura in his anger, not knowing that he was where the Demon King resided. Perhaps my hawk overwhelmed Zoro just like that, causing him to break it out again, causing him to fight with all his might, thus slashing Zoro. There is still no explanation why Zoro has this ability, but, right from the match with Keiku, many fans speculated that Zoro possessed the kind of demonic powers, and I also believed it. I believe even more that Zoro's sword is always a demon sword, or was forged by a demon swordsmith. Perhaps Kuina did not fall down the stairs to death, but simply made up by Kojiro-sensei to deceive children. Because Zoro didn't understand it at that time, but it was related to Wado Ikemonji's sword. This was originally the sword of Shimatsuki Kozaburo, Kojiro-sensei's father, but he did not use it but gave it to his daughter. However, Kuina is also not the master of the sword chosen. Of course the demon sword will kill that person. But Wada Ikemonji and Zoro fought everywhere, he was still okay, even easily overpowered Sandai Kaititsu, all thanks to the demon lord Ashura's ability. The Shusui didn't seem like a demon sword, so Zoro was exchanged for Inma, a very dangerous treasure. But now that he has mastered it, 3 demonic swords cannot harm Zoro, which is unusual. Or in chapter 997, when Zoro got mad at Queen, at that moment the earthquake occurred, Oni Island shook. Brook asks Zoro in panic, saying, "Is that the King Haki? What did you just do, Zoro? You are such a scary person." Zoro said it wasn't him, but Brook remarked that Zoro was a scary person was absolutely right. Maybe the author Oda is implicitly hinting, Zoro also owns the hegemonic Haki, because the Roger crew includes Odin, there are up to 4 people who have the hegemonic Haki. If the Straw Hat crew has someone else possessing this power, I am not surprised either. Or if Zoro doesn't have the real Haki, then sooner or later he will show a similar power, which is that of Demon Lord Ashura. It was like Cavendish becoming Chaos when Hakuba woke up, but much more frightening. And Zoro will use that power to stop Big Mom. 2. Will Zoro stop Big Mom? In chapter 1002, Big Mom used 2 moves called Ui County and Die 2 at Angel. Uico is the god Indra, Great Freedom refers to Shiva, both major deities in Hinduism of India, cradle of Buddhism. Her move is also often accompanied by heavenly, or angel, heaven, for example the fireballs Prometheus shoots in chapter 1001. Even the Homi names, she named after the gods, from Zeus, Prometheus, particularly Napoleon often hailed as the god of war of mankind. Although he is a villain, plays a villain, but all Big Mom's moves and abilities are based on the gods, instead of evil gods. This is a pretty interesting point. As for Zoro, he brought in the power of the devil, in contrast to Big Mom. For example chapter 1002, Zoro slices Kaido with one attack, named Black Guy, Great Dragon Book. Black Guy, or Black Rope, is actually a transcription of the word Kala Sutra, is the name of one of the 28 Hindu hells. Coincidentally, the lines that Zoro mumbled in chapter 778, when he darted himself to slash Pika, were all from the Buddhist scriptures, taken from India. 9 mountain 8 seas, the best in the world. Thousands of world births, thousands of worlds 3. The greatest 3 heavenly heaven, great world, this way 3000 worlds, also has a similar name to the great self at Big Mom's angel. Or other techniques, such as Onigiri, demon tramp, and Daibutsu-giri, translates to mean the great Buddha of Guanyin. Our wood slash the Buddha, meets the god of the guillotine, the demon slashes the devil, the true demon king, the exact opposite of Big Mom. In addition, you must not forget the 3-headed 6-handed skill, Zoro's King Ashura from the day before. Ashura is also the concept of the evil gods, against the main gods in Hinduism. The names Ashura and Indra are always opposing each other in the manga, but the main is the demon king, and the antagonist is the god himself. A typical example is the two sons of the Six-Path Sage, or Naruto's nine-tailed six-headed three-handed Naruto, fighting Sasuke's masterpiece Indra. A coincidence that is not light. Zoro is not present in the cake-turning arc. Does author Oda want to save it until now? Since the time skip, the strongest move that Zoro has never used again, moreover, he has not encountered enemies that are strong enough, making himself unleash his full potential. If so, Big Mom will become a very powerful reagent, forcing Zoro to release the dark power inside his body. Big Mom, Angel, Zoro, Devil, it's worth thinking, isn't it? 3. What is the role of Yamato and Sanji? In the latest chapter 1008, Yamato expressed concern for Luffy, and wanted to fight Kaido, under the guise of Kojiki Oden. With the red envelopes divided into action, they will soon meet Yamato's group. At that time Kinemon, Shinobu, and the others would protect Momonosuke in her place, leaving Yamato free to go up on the dome. Just like Luffy, Yamato's target is Kaido, so she won't team up with Zoro against Big Mom. The boss of this Wano arc is Kaido, the sub-boss is Orokai. Just destroy these two guys, the fight will end, Big Mom will leave. So I think the three captains will join with Yamato to defeat Kaido. Killer will lend Zoro a hand. These two men once encountered in Ringo. Zo defeated him with his onigiri technique. But in chapter 1001, Killer declared at that time that he had his weapon, the one lying down must be Zoro. Of course, Zoe will not lose, but Killer also proved, I do not have to boast. He can slice through Kaido's dragon scales, causing internal trauma, and his real power is also not suitable. The captains together beat Kaido. Two supernovas are not the captains responsible for keeping Big Mom. However, Killer is quite irritable, so sooner or later it will be Zoro solo, the fight between demons and angels. On the other side, 5 vs 1 does not know whether to win Kaido or not, but 3 handicap 1 will definitely lose. The appearance of Yamato will play a very important role, because she is the daughter of Kaido, and understands his dragon power. Kaido must have a weakness, it lies in the daughter herself. Yamato will have a huge impact on Kaido's morale. If he doesn't really want to kill you, we will have a chance. I still believe Kaido is a better parent than Big Mom. He did everything, just to become great, to die like Whitebeard, Roger, and Oden, and the Shogun of Tananagashima. Kaido had no film, but wanted to dedicate it to Yamato. But bitterly, his daughter wants to team up with outsiders, kill her father, in spite of what he does and wants from her. Kaido inherently has a rather complicated introspective, adding this too much criticism certainly affects him a lot. We saw Big Mom when she lost her mind. When I saw the picture of Caramel's mother being smashed, her body was no longer indestructible needles, bleeding easily when kneeling on the floor. I believe Kaido is the same. Before he became the strongest creature in the world, he was also a normal pirate, many times defeated. Just give Kaido the same shock. While Big Mom was held by Zoro, Luffy will have a chance. Yamato's participation in battle, not only because she was strong, but also had a huge psychological factor. So what role do you play, Sanji? At this time, the red envelope has recovered, the matchup is divided almost completely, only the Queen of Plague has no opponent. But author Oda let Sanji run around in the castle, to no avail, mostly to laugh. That's one aspect, and another aspect, according to me. Author Oda wants to turn Sanji into a trump card. He does not have a specific opponent until the last minute, but will cause the situation in a certain battlefield to turn around. Sanji is very strong, he is the third most powerful member under Luffy's command, keeping his strength up to now makes Hotel appear to outperform the Drought Toby Rappo and Jack. The longer the Kaido's commanders became weaker, even though they could win against our side, Sanji appeared instantly changing everything. The music and dance hall with Marco, ex-Drake, Hyagoro Hoa, Chopper, more than 10,000 people was confiscated by the president, only 2 Okanban and a few gifter would not be able to control it. If Perospero attacked Chopper, then Marco would have a hard time against the king and queen, but he still had the strength to seriously injure them. Suddenly Sanji comes here, king will hand over to Marco, and the queen of the disease is handled by him. Also in the other regions, with the exception of Black Maria and Ultai, Sanji can defeat any Toby Rappo. The fact that they have been fighting from the beginning until now, while Sanji mainly plays comedy, has not used the dark suit, proves that author Oda is turning Sanji into a trump card. Even the top of his skull, if Sanji goes on top of it, he would contribute a lot, with his strength and invisibility. It is true that Por and Z are always fighting with each other, but there was a time when two people joined together, creating a huge power. Assuming Killer is defeated, Zoro alone will not be able to fight Big Mom, then Luffy's right and left arms will team up, together holding her to help the captain. After all, maybe Sanji will still fight one of the Okanban. Zoro comes back with the supernovas to kill Kaido, but that is when there is an admiral, or the Yonko Shanks instead fight Big Mom. And now they have to carry themselves, divide each other to fight with the two four emperors. And right now, with his rest, Sanji is really Oda's trump card, able to change the course of an area when he appears. Recently, all my analysis and predictions about the battle between Zoro and Big Mom, as well as the special role of Sanji and Yamato. If you find it interesting, please donate the likes, share, and one channel registration to support Top Shounen. Goodbye and see you again.
Yeah.